Hello, is the Sinister Gambino here with a new video. In this video I'm going to be discussing and talking about the Cayo Perico Heist DLC update details that were revealed in the Rockstar Newswire and earlier. So starting last Thursday, they first started teasing the update. And they first teased the update with some construction to the casino for whatever reason. Not sure what exactly the casino would have to do with the Cayo Perico Heist. At least I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but yeah. Not entirely sure. I haven't yet finished the Diamond Casino Heist, so might just be me who's not really too sure. But yeah, pretty interesting that there seems like there's going to be some sort of connection to it. Though I'll probably talk about it a bit later, of course. There's a little something that sounds like it might not be in Cayo Perico itself or whatever. And then the second part of the little teasers they've done before the Newswire was on this Thursday. And it was like a dead person on a beach. You can typically find them like around Vespucci and then LSIA. Maybe even the docks on like the southeast part of the map. Basically in the beach areas around there, you'll probably be able to find it because I believe it changes locations off of like time of day and stuff. But yeah, I'm sure there's a video out there for those who for some reason might struggle on finding it. And then after that was like a video thingy called like surveil.exe or whatever. And it's almost the same thing as before, of course. Just a little tiny bit more info. Seems to like the John Doe person and like the El Ruben person. Seems they last had contact in LSIA, of course. Makes sense, I would imagine, with the new location and all. And then, yeah, El Ruben, I would imagine would be pretty much like the drug lord or whatever. I imagine that would be that person. And John Doe, for those who don't know, that's kind of just a little like alias kind of name that's typically given to people whose like name aren't like known or something like that. So yeah, it's not really too important there. Going off of the latest official update information on the Rockstar Newswire, the release date for the DLC, at least for now, would be December 15th, 2020. Though I doubt that would be delayed or anything. And then the second paragraph just basically goes over like the previous kind of heists that were done with the Boeing Book Penitentiary and the original heist, the Tech Billionaire and the Doomsday Heist, and then the Diamond Casino Heist. And then yeah, third paragraph just mainly talks about the notorious like drug dealer, which again I would assume that would be that like El Ruben name or whatever that's shown off in the surveil.exe or whatever. I'd imagine that drug dealer or whatever would be that El Ruben person for sure. On to the fourth paragraph of the Rockstar Newswire. It talks about Cayo Perico being one of the most secure private islands in the world, so it definitely seems like it's going to have quite the security there. Wonder if it's going to be even worse than the LSPD, because the LSPD are already pretty fucking crazy in the game. Let's be real here. But yeah, I wonder if it's like the cartel or if it's like some sort of like actual law enforcement, because I could see like it being a cartel owned island, which could be interesting or something. And then yeah, it says stuff about evading or neutralizing heavily armed security forces. So that kind of gives a implication or whatever that you could surely stealth or of course go out and dumb. I'm sure those would probably be options again, similar to like the Diamond Casino Heist. And then yeah, it says escape with valuable evidence like art, gold, and drug money. The thing with those though is that they're already all in the game with like the Diamond Casino Heist. So I guess it's pretty much going to have all the same loot from the previous update, unless they're waiting to reveal different types of loot for this particular heist. So yeah, as I'll be going into later, it sounds like the heist will be soloable or whatever. On the next little tiny paragraph here, it says choose your tools, choose your approach, choose your crew, or even go entirely alone. And I'll be quite honest, I'm not entirely surprised at all, actually, that they decided to finally make a soloable heist here, actually. And that's very exciting for money making, I'd say, for sure. Like, yeah, I definitely think a bunch of the, like, businesses combined can definitely still be, like, the #1, probably, money opportunity in the entire game. I don't really think, with, like, the effort and stuff, it's going to be, like, the most top-tier money opportunity in the game, technically. But still, regardless, a soloable heist is definitely very big for money making, whether it's going to be really practical or not. Especially when you can combine like passive businesses, assuming those will still get worked on while in Cayo Perico and all, such as like the bunker and nightclub and the biker businesses. So regardless of how good or bad it is, it's definitely going to be very efficient, I'd say, for money making if you combine it with the right kind of stuff. That's definitely pretty exciting. But yeah, since all but like the actual heist, from what I know, with the Diamond Casino Heist can be done solo, just need like at least 2 people for the actual heist, it's really no surprise at all that they decided to finally go with a solo heist, since surely there's not much of any other way I feel they would have improved the heist experience. But yeah, aside for that, it seems very same sounding as like the Diamond Casino Heist. But yeah, that already I feel is almost perfect already anyways. Quickly going back into the previous paragraph, actually, I might actually kind of be able to understand why the like loot would be entirely the same, being art, gold, and drug money. I'm actually curious though, kind of, if all like 3 of them can be got on one heist. That's a way they could change it up from the Diamond Casino Heist, make it where you can get like all the 3 different kinds, or could maybe be like some of each. That would be quite the way to change it up, because I believe the way it works currently is you either get art, gold, or drug money. And of course, when the diamonds get released in certain event weeks, there's that as well. So I wonder if there's going to be diamonds at all, since like all the other loot's returning, or if that's going to be a Diamond Casino Heist exclusive thing. I can totally see diamonds being a Diamond Casino Heist exclusive thing, no doubt. But yeah, that's probably why they're sticking with a lot of the same ones. And I wouldn't be surprised if they like undervalued them compared to the Diamond Casino Heist to balance it out with the fact that it can be done like solo, or at least when it's actually done solo. Maybe it'll boost like the money or something if you do it with like friends and stuff to encourage playing it as a group. That could be a way to do it, I'd imagine. But yeah. Also, it's very good as well that they're doing it as a solo heist this time around, because, yeah, at least Sony, when it comes to the PlayStation platform for PlayStation 4, they ruined private parties. They pretty much completely got rid of those, of course, doing it for the stupid group system now, when they shouldn't have made any, like, changes to the parties, because the party system was already fine as it was. So in that regard, it's definitely pretty nice, no doubt. On to the next paragraph, which I would say would be the biggest of them all. First thing I really want to talk about is the location, because I haven't really talked much about it yet. But I'm very curious how the location would work. On Twitter, I feel I'm seeing a lot of people worried that like the island, the Cayo Perico Island, won't really be accessible in free mode. But honestly, I don't really know, honestly. And with all the like details in this paragraph, I highly doubt they would do that. But then again, they've done that in the past with this game and I believe other games as well. Like for example, North Yankton currently in the game, that's only using like 2 single player missions in the story mode. So who really knows, to be honest? But if there's going to be like full-fledged like radio stations and stuff, I definitely would have to imagine it has to be accessible for free mode. And that's whether you can actually fly to with like helicopters and like use like boats and stuff like that to get to it. Or if it would be like a loading screen through like LSIA or something like that. I would still count that kind of as free mode in a sense, then again it would be loading in a separate area, so I don't really know. But regardless, I really don't see it being heist exclusive. I don't feel they would waste all that time with a map expansion just to use it in a heist. I feel that would be very counterproductive or whatever. But yeah. Next thing I wanted to talk about was like the weapons. The weapons, I really hope they do a really good job with the weapons. Because at least 2 of the heist DLCs, I feel I only added like 1 weapon. I think the original heist, they might have only added the flare gun, which is one of the more interesting, unique, and fun weapons in the game and all. And actually has its uses. Could be good for like protecting like business cargo and stuff. And yeah, like the Doomsday heist, I believe that one pretty much only had like Mark II weapons. And Diamond Casino Heist, I think only has like the ceramic pistol. So again, kind of just a like pistol, similar to like the 2015 original heists. So really, I hope they do a really good job with this update when it comes to the weapons, because to be honest, for heist DLCs, I feel they do a kind of poor job with the weapons. So I'd really like to see a mix of Mark II and like new weapons. I feel they really missed the mark with the last heist, the Diamond Casino Heist DLC. Because that property gave another like property that has like the weapon bench. I feel every time they do a like weapon bench property that lets you have access to customizing like Mark II weapons and all, if they're going to do that, they should make at least a couple Mark II weapons. But yeah, I think it's literally been since the Doomsday Heist since there's been a single Mark II weapon. So yeah, really worried how good they'll do with the weapons this time around. Because I feel a lot of times they only do 1 weapon for a heist DLC. Which for any other DLC I can understand, but not like a full-fledged like big heist update. And then yeah, next thing it talks about like the social spaces, dance and party in with friends, and then world-class guest DJs. So definitely some big similarities to the After Hours update with the social spaces and then the DJs. Some of the social spaces seem like they would be in the island, though I don't know, with the random construction to the casino, which I don't know how much a casino would have to do with the Cayo Perico Heist. Maybe that's the DJ stuff. Maybe there's going to be like a DJ room with the casino. That would be pretty interesting. Because that's the only thing I feel would make sense with the casino and the construction shown off at the way beginning of the video. And then after that, it talks about new radio stations of over 100 new songs. And yeah, that's radio stations in plural, which means more than 1 radio station, obviously. Which is pretty big for an update, actually. Because all the other updates have only brought 1 radio station, I'm pretty sure. There was obviously the one with like the current generation, whatever, of systems, or was the current generation, with the lab or whatever. And I believe after that was like the Doomsday Heist with Blonded FM. That was a good one. I feel the biggest DLC station so far would be with After Hours of LSIA, because obviously there's like 4 DJs with the After Hours update. I feel that one's the more like most like in-depth radio station so far. And then obviously we have the like latest one being the iFruit radio with the Diamond Casino Heist. So at least a couple for sure would definitely be pretty nice already. That would vastly outclass the other DLCs for sure. I'd say no doubt. And over 100 seems very big for sure. I can only imagine how much stations it would take for like 100, because I feel like all the other stations probably have like 10 or 20 around there at max. So that could be like a few to several stations I could see for sure. I wonder if they would all be exclusive to Cayo Perico. With the radio stations especially give me hope that it's a free mode thingy. Whether you can actually like fly and like swim, go by like boat to it, or if you have to go through LSIA and it's like a loading screen. At least until there's the expanded and enhanced versions. Which I wonder if the PS5, Xbox Series X version would try to incorporate into actual free mode. If it does end up being like a separate area with like a loading screen with LSIA or something. But yeah, sadly I'm very worried about it being much of a free mode thing where you can like fly and swim to it, because already in the game, being at the casino outside of it can slow the game down, at least on like the base PS4. I have like the very original PS4 model, and at times it can really struggle during the casino. I think I've had like live streams and stuff like that happen to me before. And yeah, with the new like business battle with the USS Luxington, I've been in pretty full lobbies of that, and when that spawns in, the game's an absolute fucking lag fest till it basically ends. So yeah, hopefully they do it in a smart way that the like PS4 and Xbox One, especially the like original models, can handle. So sad I don't really see flying to it and like using boats to be much of a thing. It's probably going to be for like the airport or something. At least till there's the expanded and enhanced versions again. But yeah, definitely very curious for sure how they want to go about that. Because it's going to have to be very severely limited, and surely they should have considered like doing it only for PS5 and Xbox Series X later on or whatever when those versions come out. But yeah. And finally it talks about the like Submarine or whatever, the Submarine HQ. And there's going to be more on that later, because I'll kind of be talking about a couple things from the like trailer or whatever. And then yeah, final paragraph is stay tuned for more details, so surely there's going to be more update details, no doubt, on this one. Finally, for the last couple clips here, I'm going to talk about a couple of the like most like honorable mention kind of things I saw in the trailer for the Cayo Perico Heist, obviously coming December 15th. Obviously probably not the final trailer, but like a teaser trailer in a sense, of course. But it was like 24, 25 seconds, whatever. And I'm not gonna fully analyze the whole thing, because it's not really that possible on the PS4, whatever, because you can't really record the browser. But yeah. First, like, most interesting thing I found was this. And it looks to be like a weaponized, like, armored dinghy in the game, actually. Which, obviously, the dinghy, the regular one's currently in the game, obviously, since, like, they won the game. And that's, like, that inflatable boat, whatever. Having a weaponized version of that, actually, I think is definitely going to be pretty cool. I definitely think I see it right, no doubt. But yeah, it looks like it's probably going to require another player to be on it, for sure. So it doesn't seem like it would have any, like, driver-controlled weapons. And the fact that this is going to be coming into the game, actually, is kind of big, because it would be the first, like, proper weaponized, like, boat in the game, I think. I believe there's barely been any instance in the entire GTA series, actually, where there's been a weaponized, like, boat. The only instance I can think of is at least in Grand Theft Auto 3. I think the police boats in that game, I believe you can use, like, driver-controlled machine guns. And maybe Liberty City Stories as well. Besides for those two, having like the weaponized like police speedo, whatever like the police boat is called, I believe it's actually called Police Predator. I believe that's actually weaponized, at least in Grand Theft Auto 3, with like machine guns that are driver controlled. So it definitely gives me flashbacks of that. And like weaponized like attack boat is something I've always wanted to see in this game. So it seems they're finally going to be getting an attack boat in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, it definitely seems to look like they want to test the waters of like a naval update or something. I feel a naval update could make for like nice new business for like the expanded and enhanced versions of the game for PS5 and Xbox Series X. Because honestly, I could easily see this being the last update for PS4 and Xbox One if there's like a full-on map expansion. Which would be kind of unfortunate, because the last generation did get a transition period, of course, where updates were coming into the current systems at the time, being PS4, Xbox One, and then Xbox 360 and PS3 obviously got some updates as well, but in a more limited sense for some of the later updates. So yeah, I'm kind of worried, since we're in a map expansion now, that there's not going to be a transition period between a PS4 and PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S, and X and all. So yeah, kind of doesn't give me too much hope that this system, the last gen systems right now, of course PS4, Xbox One, will actually be getting any more updates after this, because I don't know, I feel it would take a lot of resources with this like map expansion. It would probably be it, in my opinion, but honestly, who really knows, I feel. Next, when it comes to the stuff that I wanted to talk about in the trailer, I wanted to talk about at least one of the vehicles in the screenshot here. I believe the ones in the middle and the right are the same vehicle, just maybe like more modifications and stuff. And it kind of looks like a classic-ish like Patriot in the game, actually, because for those who don't know, like the Patriot in like the 3D universe, or at least in San Andreas, I know for sure. Maybe Vice City even, I'm not too sure on the other games, but I believe the 3D universe has more of a like militarized Patriot in the game. And I believe the game was supposed to actually have the militarized version of the Patriot for this game. I believe it was known as like the Squaddie or something like that, which is like a beta vehicle that was going to be in the game. And beta obviously means it didn't really make it in the final cut in the game. So yeah, it sounds like a beta vehicle from the original like plans of the game is actually going to be coming back. And obviously it wouldn't really be the first time, since I believe they did that with like the Hydra and the Hunter. Those were going to be in since like day one, but we're at it with like the Heist update and then like the Smuggler's Run update as well. So yeah, it seems it's going to be another instance of that. But yeah, I don't really have anything showing much of anything about that on here. But in the description, I'm probably going to link some like page about it or something. Because yeah, it does apparently seem like that's actually going to be returning. Or like not returning, but like a beta vehicle that was meant to be in the game will actually finally be fully released. And then yeah, there's other vehicles that worked like that as well. I believe there's one from the body Tony that was going to be in the game called a Brigade that finally made an official appearance in GTA 5 for like the Finance Felony update. So yeah, nowhere near the first time something like that would happen, but yeah, just something pretty interesting I'd say to bring up, because I hear people think this is a Squaddie, so that's definitely very interesting. And then the other vehicle, not really too positive much on what the other vehicle would be, but obviously I'm sure it could be looked into what the other vehicle is, whether it's like the GTA Wiki or knowing like the real life variant of it and stuff. Finally, last but not least, I kind of wanted to make a dedicated section to the Submarine HQ, because it kind of sounds like it's going to be the main like base of operations in this DLC, unless it for some reason would have something to do with that room or whatever that was being constructed and is still being constructed at the Diamond Casino and Resort. But yeah, the Submarine HQ definitely seems to be one of the more interesting things in my opinion. But again, the description on the newswire was a very large, very versatile, and very heavily armed Submarine HQ with plenty of other surprises. Which I'm guessing the last few words there is just kind of a stay tuned for more info kind of thing or something. But yeah, very large, of course, that's to be expected with the submarine. But yeah, I'm not sure if this is like a whole like new model of a submarine or something. I could definitely see it having the case, or if it's like reusing the Doomsday Heist submarine. That's kind of a little interesting thing, is that maybe somehow this like submarine like HQ thing will bring Bogdan back into the game, cause yeah, Bogdan was that like Russian person, whatever, with like the Doomsday Heist Act 2. And yeah, I believe he had to like relocate outside of the US or whatever, or at least Los Santos, with like the story of that. So it'd be a pretty interesting way for him to bring him back for sure. I could definitely see that happening if we're getting a like submarine HQ of all things. Yeah, maybe he aids in like helping with the heist or something, cause he was like standing in the facility the last time we saw him or something. So yeah, clearly I would imagine he would be on good terms with the GTA Online protagonists from like the Doomsday Heist Act 2 whatever, because he seemed understanding in the situation. And he was the whole reason we figured out about, like, Avon Hertz being the true villain, not, like, Bogdan, whatever. So, yeah. I can totally see him making a comeback. And funnily enough, it could be a very funny way for Rockstar to poke fun at, like, the Act 2 glitchers. It would be a really funny way to, like, bring a funny-ass reference to that. See, I believe they've made, like, funny references to, like, people glitching the game and stuff before. That would be pretty funny, like a little funny extra. So yeah, I could see Bogdan having a big role in this actually if there's gonna be a Submarine HQ, because I don't know like why else would have like a Submarine HQ or something. Or it could just be for like a good way of getting insight on the island or something. I don't know, maybe it's not related to him at all. But yeah, I could see like Cayo Perico being like some South America kind of island or something like that. So yeah, I'd imagine that would be a good place for Bogdan to like lay over or whatever, like not lay over but like reside after all of what happened. Because I think he was kind of like banished / exiled or whatever for the US, the Los Santos, whatever. Not entirely sure, but regardless, there's definitely some good potential for bringing Bogdan back, I'd imagine. And he was definitely quite a fun character, I'd say, and I feel he had very little time in the Doomsday Heist, so having him as like a major character of this heist would be pretty cool, not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm not sure what they could mean with like very versatile. Maybe it means like there's a fuck ton of like features in this submarine. And then, yeah, heavily armed submarine. I think it would just mean, like, the weaponry. I don't think it means, like, heavily armored. Because I don't see this thing being, like, controllable in free mode, similar to, like, the yacht in the game. See it more as, like, a yacht. Kind of see it more as, like, the yacht compared to, like, the MOC, Avenger, and Terabyte, where those are actually, like, usable vehicles, whereas this would not be most likely similar to the yacht again. Which finally got relevance in the previous DLC and all. But yeah, I definitely see this being a pretty interesting property to say the least, and I definitely think it's going to be closer to the yacht, the Galaxy Super Yacht, than the MOC, Avenger, and Terabyte. So since the yachts are already like the most expensive property in the game, I could see this being like the new most expensive property in the game. So yeah, if you have to run like a whole heist in it, then maybe it would be cheaper than the yacht, I don't know. But yeah, I don't see this being pilotable, because you can't pilot the yacht or whatever. I don't think like 5 years later they would magically change their mind on letting people pilot a very huge watercraft in the game. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I really care to say actually, but actually, no, I could totally see this being Orbital Cannon 2.0. If this is like an Orbital Cannon 2.0 for one of its like renovations, and oh god, Orbital Cannon is already terrible as it is. I really hope they don't make that dumb of a mistake this time. Also, not to mention auto-targeting on the like original Orbital Cannon in the game right now doesn't even make sense, because there's no auto-targeting at all in the like actual like Act 3 Doomsday Heist. But I don't really see how they could improve it that much for like the Orbital Cannon anyways. But please no, please don't make it Orbital Cannon 2.0. But yeah, I think that's definitely the last thing I have to say with any of the information that's been revealed in this newswire. And yeah, I definitely think this is a much huger update just off the sounds and the teasers already than any other like update we've got so far, no doubt. Again, I can totally see this being the very last update to the PS4 and Xbox One. I could definitely see that being the case. But yeah, that's finally going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed.